The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development plays a key role in promoting economic growth and reform in Ukraine by supporting private sector development, infrastructure, energy and financial sector in a number of ways. We invited Namig Damirov, a banking analyst of European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, for our studio for some communications. Hi Namig. Please present yourself, our audience, and tell about your activities.
Thank you for having me. Well, I'm working for European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and I'm a banking analyst there. Just a disclaimer that I'm in my personal capacity here and not in professional capacity, so everything I'll be saying are my personal opinions and does not represent the EBR's full legal position, but just my opinions.
Okay.
I'm a banker there, but I'm rotating through different departments, so I have had some chance to look at projects and work done by the bank from different angles. And I'm very proud to work for European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. We are non-profit, but still we do not rely on our shareholders for funding. We generate enough profits, financial profits, to continue our operations and expand it. And Ukraine is a very important country for us, and our bank is committed to supporting Ukraine through this wartime and afterwards during the reconstruction.
Mm-hmm. How many years do you work?
I'm new there. I joined the bank last year.
Okay, so the first question. Has the bank exceeded lending conditions for private business since the beginning of the war in Ukraine?
Since the beginning of the war, our bank made clear its commitment to Ukraine, to support Ukraine. As well as the bank went through capital raise, so we'll have more funding to support Ukraine. And a special attention is given to our operations here. I would say it has become easier because we are receiving a lot of guarantees from our different shareholder countries on the financial products that are provided here, and we are giving a lot of grants as well. Also, we are providing advisory services as well to our counterparties. So I would say overall it has become easier.
Okay. Does the bank provide loans to the state budget of Ukraine, not as a part of project financial, but to cover the budget deficit? If not, due to the bank's policy, why are there no exceptions for temporary changes to support the member state?
Well, project finance is a big part of the what bank does, but it's not the only thing that we do. There are a lot of financial instruments available, financial products available, and the bank does provide liquidity packages. I'm aware of liquidity packages being provided to municipalities here in Ukraine, to various cities, to cover their funding shortfalls. So we do that. We try to address the needs of each counterparty, each client. We don't have just a basic set of products. We are a bank that have been in operation for a long time. We have excellent staff, very highly experienced people working on these projects, so they're able to work with the Ukrainian entities, may it be private or public, and come up with solutions addressing their needs at the time. And they can come up with quite specifically tailored products as well. So yeah, we do a lot of whole wide range of financial products, not just project finance.
What are the best examples of private business development in Ukraine that have been supported by the bank?
I don't think I can comment on a specific case, but there are quite a lot of investments going into Ukraine. From what I believe, what I remember and believe, cumulative investment today to this state has been around close to 20 billion, and current portfolio is over 4 billion euros. invested in over 500 different projects. So there are a lot of cases of bank providing financing and support to entities here. From what I remember, if I'm correct, last year Naftogaz received around 500 million in financing to help through the winter and improve their overall financial standing.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Does the bank support business development programs in Ukraine from scratch?
Development programs, we do build frameworks. I'm aware of programs for SMEs, providing advisory services to them as well, small to medium enterprises. From scratch, from what I know, the bank does not directly do micro lending. What the bank can do is that bank interacts a lot with financial institutions in the country. What they can do is that they can support local Ukrainian banks, and they in turn can go and support small businesses. Mm-hmm. That way it's much more efficient.
Okay. Have there been such successful programs in other member countries?
Yes. There are many examples of that. Right now, I believe the biggest country of operation is Turkey. There are many cases of it.
Mm-hmm. Can you describe one of these cases?
Again, I don't think I can comment on the details of a specific project. I don't think I would be able to do that.
What new projects are planned by the bank in Ukraine in the near future?
As I mentioned earlier, the bank went through a capital raise, so there will be more funding coming to Ukraine, and it will be bigger and wider. And there has been, I believe, changes in the structures of how bank views Ukraine. Before it was, I believe, part of Eastern Europe and Caucasus region. Now a new region has been created called Ukraine and Moldova. So from this, my personal opinion is that it signifies the clear importance given to Ukraine, that it has been given its own special region. With the increased funding, I'm pretty sure there will be more funding will be coming to the country.
How can you describe the economic of Ukraine during the war period?
Well, obviously it had a lot of adverse effects on the economy, on the livelihood of people. It has been a huge shock, but Ukraine is quite resilient. Ukrainian cities, their financial standings are good. Even cities that are closer to the front, such as Kharkiv, have good financial standing. So still, projects are still bankable. Investments continue to flow. And hopefully situation will improve as the time goes on.
In your opinion, do you think international investments increased during the war or not?
From private sector, I doubt that.
Mm-hmm.
Private investors are going to be hesitant to invest in the country during a wartime. EBRD is different because we have a different mission. It's actually our work to go to the markets where private players, private actors are not going. Essentially what we're doing is we take on the challenge of participating in riskier projects, riskier activities. That's why we are called a development bank.
How long do you think the war in Ukraine will be? And should we expect a default?
How long the war is going to be is beyond me. We all hope for a quick resolution to the conflict. We all hope for the peace. So, no comment on that. Default, I personally doubt that. There is still considerable support from US, EU, and other allied nations. So, I highly doubt that.
What advice would you give to Ukrainian business?
What advice? My advice would be to do research on the offerings of development banks. It doesn't just have to be our bank. There are alternatives as well, such as European Investment Bank and others. There are a lot of support programs and mechanisms available. There are a lot of advisory services that are available. My advice would be to take full advantage of what's available. Not necessarily just financially, but also through practical advices. And focus on resilience of supply chains and operation management, and try to bear through these difficult times.
Okay.
But overall, Ukraine is a large country with a literate population. It's resource rich, has huge potential.
Okay, thanks. And the last, what would you wish for Ukrainians?
Obviously, all the best. What else could I wish? Obviously.
What about перемога? Victory.
Victory, yes, obviously. Victory is the most important one right now. Also, I'll wish victory for Ukraine and swift resolution of this conflict so that people can go back to living their lives peacefully. And overall, I wish all for the best, and I hope that one day Ukrainian refugees will be able to return back to their homes safely and rebuild this great country. This country holds huge potential. Especially if Ukraine manages to integrate with the EU, it would have so much upside, not just for Ukraine though, but for Europeans themselves as well. So after victory, the future will be very bright, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.